Madhuji, what happened subsequently? Like we know that the case was transferred to Pathankot, and if you could just apprise us of what's happening now and the families. I mean, they must be the whole family. Of these people. It must be such difficult times for them. Apart from the fact that these people are incarcerated for a crime that they haven't even committed. So could you just tell us what's happening now and where do things stand?
Yeah, you see, they were clever enough that, I mean, this is again Mehbooba Mufti's very shatir chal,
Hmm.
that she actually let loose hysteria through Indira Jaising and the Lutyens NGO, the foreign funded NGO network that handles a lot of legal cases for jihadis, for all kinds of wrongdoers, for Maoists. They let loose this hysterical campaign that Asifa's parents, oh sorry,
Yeah, right.
they let
Yeah.
loose this hysterical campaign that this aggrieved family would not get justice if the case was heard in a Jammu court. So it should be transferred. Can you imagine a chief minister of a state saying, in my state,
State.
where I am the chief minister, the court will not do me justice or will not give justice to the accused?
Yes.
Why did she do that? Because she knew that the Bar Association saw through the entire fraud, and they were out on the streets demanding CBI probe. And the best of lawyers, I mean, it's not, by the way, it's not BJP. BJP kept quiet and went along with Mehbooba Mufti, and that's why they were denied a CBI probe. The PMO refused to yield to that demand. Had the PMO agreed, then the matter would have finished there, because an honest probe would have shown in no time that the case is a fraud. So, she didn't let CBI probe take place. Secondly, she knew that the bar was really outraged, and the best of lawyers, including the president of the Bar Association at that time, Mr. B.S. Lathia, he was a congressman, veteran Congress leader of Jammu. He led the protest demonstrations. He was very agitated,
Mm.
and yet nobody heard. So the protests uh, were multi-party. They were not. It's not as if only
Only
Congress or
BJP.
BJP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody who was honest, even a wee bit, no matter which party he belonged to, except of course PDP. So she let loose this campaign that it should be transferred out of the state, and it was transferred to one of the most compromised judges in Pathankot. And there, of course, he did a real hit job and trampled over all good evidence. They brought in fake witnesses. They cancelled out genuine witnesses who had evidence that this was false.
No, my question was simply this: that do you think that this body of the girl, I mean, whoever did this, the crime, do you think that, I mean, the girl was murdered to be used as mm, to create this whole controversy, or they found this body and then decided? I mean, what is your guess, or what inference do you draw?
Firstly, we don't know whose daughter she was, whether she was an orphan. She's probably an orphan because that's what he said. He adopted her
Hmm.
as an orphan. No, he adopted her from his sister, but
Hmm.
the sister never showed up.
Hmm.
The real mother never showed up. Fake fathers kept showing up. And in court, he admitted that he's not her biological father. And he didn't even say, but this one is the biological father.
Hmm.
The police never carried out a DNA test to find out whose daughter she is. So, we don't know the origins of this girl. There are many stories that I have shared in the book that I heard about the girl. The long and short of it is that she was murdered, no doubt, tortured, no doubt, but certainly not by those who are held guilty. or who've been incarcerated. I am reasonably certain, on the basis of available evidence, that this crime is likely to have been carried out with the active consent or perhaps participation of her own family, with Talib Hussain being a major player. And Talib Hussain is very close to Mehbooba Mufti, and he's also a card holding member of the PDP and Hurriyat. And his wife had made a lot of allegations against him, how he's been supporting the secessionist agenda of Pakistan. He's in touch with all kinds of dubious elements. So Talib Hussain should be investigated. Mehbooba's role should be investigated. A self declared family's role should be investigated. And then you will know the truth. And not without that. It's not enough to prove these people innocent. I've written this book in the hope, A, that the eight accused will be acquitted honorably and damages paid. And can you imagine the guts? The one person accused, Vishal, who was acquitted by the judge rather unwillingly, against his political, the orders of his political bosses, because there was proof, CCTV camera proof, multiple uh, videographic evidence of his being far away. And yet, this girl's father, so called father, has gone to court challenging the acquittal of that young man and challenging the life imprisonment sentence, saying it should be death by hanging. They should all be hanged. Yeah.
Is
And
it?
the state government has supported it. Soon after the seven were convicted, they appealed to the High Court of Punjab and Haryana. The case has been heard since 2019. Since 2019, the case is being heard. The judgment hasn't come. It could come any day. And in the meantime, I told you there's an appeal that they should all be hanged, not just given death. I mean, not just given life imprisonment. So the two are being heard simultaneously. And I'm sure if there's even a modicum of integrity in the bench that has heard this case, um, these people will be acquitted. However, however, they will challenge it and they'll go to the Supreme Court. They never give up, even with false cases. But most importantly, will the High Court insist that the real culprits be punished or be identified? It's not enough that these innocents are acquitted honorably, but it's more important that the real culprits are identified, put on trial, and punished. And that, to my mind, should include investigating Mehbooba Mufti, Talib Hussain, this girl's self declared family. All of them should be investigated thoroughly by CBI, and a hardcore team should take on the job because these are hardened criminals.
Do these men have a chance in being acquitted? And let's say if the court rules otherwise, do they have enough monetary, financial, or any kind of teeth to appeal to Supreme Court?
No, they are very poor. The best of among these is Patwari's Sanjiram's family. And Patwari Sanjiram is known to be a very honest dharmic man. So it's a modest income. He is not the kind of Patwari who has two, three cars and a glamorous bungalow. Imagine he was using a two-wheeler scooter uh, till he retired. And in this day and age, if you're using a two-wheeler scooter, you don't have a four-wheeler, that means you belong to the lower middle class. Because these days, even clerks, government clerks, and peons
Cars.
have
Yes,
cars. You know?
yes.
Okay. Now, he's the only one with some means, and one of his sons is employed in the Navy as a sailor. Not he's not a
Officer.
naval officer. The others are so poor that they had difficult getting any lawyer. And I think, but for Chaudhry Lal Singh, the MLA who took up their cases, even Sanji Ram's family would not have any lawyer. But they don't have the kind of lawyers that Mehbooba Mufti was able to garner together,
Mm.
apart from the fact that the state has fought the case. You see, the murder and rape are crimes against the state. So the state has paid for the
Mm.
best of lawyers. In addition, Indira Jai Singh, Colin Gonsalves, all these people who are forever there for every case,
Yes.
they played a very big role in creating hysteria, not just fighting the case, including transfer of the case, including snubbing the demand for CBI. Because once they go hysterical, no judge dares stand up to their wrath.
Right.
So these people are very modest
Very
lawyers,
strong.
the kind of lawyers you wouldn't even have heard about.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.